Welcome, friends, once again to another session of NPD Banking. Clip which is recommended or advised or requested by my fans on how long the bank should retain its records because of the technology available today, and therefore they feel that the records can be maintained for a long period, but what does the statute require and what is being done today? This clip is useful for bankers, lawyers, customers, and government agencies. This is your host, CA Nitan Trilokekar, requesting you to either like this clip if you like it or give it a thumbs down, but at least subscribe to it so that it gains more popularity by your recommendation to others. Now let's get down to it. The retention of records, that means what you require, is naturally to be kept by you, but the record retention addresses the problem of storage of records which are no longer active. You no longer need to reach out to that file and search out the paper tomorrow, day after, or in the near future. That is the question to be answered for record retention, how long, and this is mainly the work of Risk and Compliance Department, who will be the custodian of the retention policy. The policy requires to answer how long to keep, what to discard, and when to discard. So this policy, if the bank has it, it's very good. I have seen in cases of other statutes where records for 30 years ago have been asked. Now 3 decades old record is asked, despite the act under which it is asks it to keep for 18 years only. So this is therefore we are of course keeping this conversation or the clip constricted to the banking industry, and therefore even the government departments need to know the limitations set by law itself. What is active and what is not active, what is the thumb rule, and what is being done currently in the banks. It may be done by accident, and that is what we are looking at, that the working convention, it is a working convention rather than a statute. The people are not aware of the statutory requirements. This is mainly driven by the required for MIS, that what happened last year, same point last year, what were our deposits, our advances, our NPA, etc. And therefore the data today, since it is under technology and therefore hard disk or some other magnetic media, it is available for analysis under the MIS, whatever software application the bank is using. It is also required for audit because 1 year crosses over. April to March, and audit starts after March, and therefore they cannot limit the files, even the data, for 1 year only, and 1st of April they cannot start with the new data and the old data not being available. It is required for audit also. And by convention, 3 years, the files used to be maintained, the physical ones, before they were shifted to go down, unless they are required for some longer period or permanently in the office. For example, the file containing the licenses, definitely it is needed permanently in the office and cannot be sent to the go down, because the old license is required for renewal, and therefore sometimes maybe the whole lineage of the license of that same act has to be shown. So this is mainly by convention and not statute. And now let's look at what the statutory requirements are. Now remember, we are talking only of banking and not for any other company, not even for NBFC. The Banking Regulation Act says 8 years. Banking Companies Period of Preservation of Record Rules, 1985. Now please note, I have purposely put here, even though it is 8 years, you have to look at certain rules also and certain acts which are new, which we will see later on. The Companies Act in 2013 says, the later one, that is 8 years. Income Tax Act 1961 says 10 years. Whoa, now they have crossed the 8 years. Indian Evidence Act says 8 years. Court cases will be there. Scamsters and all that. The moment a court case starts, you have to freeze those records and make sure that they are not destroyed. That is the policy of the retention of records, which should address this point. But after 8 years only, if the court case starts, then you have a problem, is what I feel, unless you keep 10 years as the date for the records to be maintained. Bankers Book Evidence Act, again 8 years. Good, it matches the Indian Evidence Act. Otherwise, we would have a bigger point to discuss. The Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 says also demands the records to be kept for 8 years. New Act, here comes a new Act, and please remain active in case of new Acts come in after this clip is seen by you and some other Act has come. Prevention of Money Laundering Act says 5 years. Now what that says under Money Laundering Act, in the next slide we'll see about it. General records as per RBI says 8 years, and SEBI regulation says 8 years other than for the meetings. All other points regarding the general meeting, committee meetings, statutory registers, some executive meetings, etc. The minutes have to be kept permanently and are not destroyed or sent to the go down. As I mentioned earlier, the specific requirements of Money Laundering Act, look at point number 1, transaction between the bank and the client. All necessary records are to be maintained. Therefore, the account of the client, and in case of other facility given to the client, bill discounting, letter of credit, as we seen in some diamond case recently, all these records have to be kept for at least 5 years. Then records pertaining to identification of customers, that is KYC, they have to be also kept for 5 years. I would say for the 5 years is minimum at least here. Then all complex, unusual large transactions which are normally reported under suspicious transaction report, whenever it occurs, these have to be maintained to permit the auditors to scrutinize the transaction. Now the suspicious transaction report, let me just pause here and tell you that this is generated under some other format and it is sent. Now this format is not as easy readable under the existing CBS software, and therefore I have seen some banks even jettisoning, that is erasing the STR report which is sent, saying that I cannot read it anyway. So I had to educate all of these people into looking at searching for applications which are free, easily available, which is converting that format into a regular readable format under some Microsoft Office, either Word or Excel or text. And the statutory requirements were not met by such organizations. They have to be met. The ignorance of the transaction of the records being readable should have not been the consideration for erasing those small files, but at least they could have been kept because the legal requirement is there. I hope those transactions are will not be required in the future, because it is just 1 or 2 years ago that I have helped the banks to understand and keep the records in place. Then of course the general rule that under Rule 3, which Money Laundering Act may bring tomorrow, that is required to be adhered to by the banks. So the greatest common denominator, a concept which we learnt in the school, the statutory requirements of 8 years, 5 years and 10 years required by Income Tax Act is required to be kept. So we have to choose the greatest common denominator, which is 10 years. Now is it as easy as keeping records on media? 10 years files are difficult to keep in hard copy in a bank branch or in a bank itself, and after 3 years to 5 years they have been shifted to go downs, and in the go downs afterwards what happens I really cannot tell you, because it as per the bank, and this information is not available as per the appointment given to me as auditor, and therefore it is beyond my scope. But I hope they keep for 10 years, that's all I'm saying. But is it easy to keep the records on the media, that is hard disk or optical drive? Keep it over there. What space does it require? 1 centimeter, 5 grams? So can we dismiss this? The answer is no. The reason is the operating system changes. Earlier, since I started practicing in the mid 80s, the operating systems were CP/M, DOS, and the computer called Wang was being phased out, and therefore we had difficulty in accessing the records which were under Wang, and we had normally given the excuse that the conversion is being taken place. Now what does the operating system do? This slide shows you in detail, but as far as we are concerned on the records, the reading of the records from one operating system to the other will be difficult, is what you can imagine. Now I thought Wang and CPM and DOS, these are the only operating systems which are available. When I did some research for this clip, just look at 1951 onwards, almost a decade is covered in one page. These are the operating systems available at that time or created at that time as per the user requirement. You can imagine that specific user requirements made the machines to satisfy that requirement. For example, General Motors operating system in 1955 was obviously not met by MIT's director's tape operating system made for UNIVAC. So similarly, Bell Labs, etc. Now we'll just run through this just to show you how many operating systems are there, and conversion from one operating system to the other is not as easy as we think it is. Now here in 60s, now full 60s decade was not available to be fit in one page. So you can imagine the per year the number of operating systems that were made. 65, 66, these were some of those which you and I can recognize, and therefore I kept it to only a page. And then just look at it. Commodore DOS is one of the gaming systems which are available, and I've kept here because Sinclair QDOS is the first operating system under which I learnt my programming. Now let us stop here. There's enough of operating systems. That is the conclusion I think I've been able to communicate to you very well. So what if the operating system changes? Data will not be easily readable. It will be total garbage. It will not be even English if it's available to be presented to you, or it will not be read. The conversion techniques which will be available in the initial stages when the operating system is being killed, they will be available for a price of or so, and over the years a lot of people will have done that, and therefore this supply will also dry up. The information may be needed in terms of in cases of legal required litigation, and they may ask to present the data or report in 15 days, 1 month, some time bound period, and if at that time you are running around to get the conversion application, it will be a little tough to do so. And therefore, in case the report is not made available at that point of time, scamsters will go free, and this is, I think, a big loss to the country in case the operating system is the reason for not giving the evidence to the courts. I would look at this kind of issue very seriously, because the financial terrorism is very high, and it's all our duty to reduce it or even penalize the persons doing it, so that new people will not come up to think about it. So what can we possibly do? Keep one old machine with working condition and with the data. Now this is what is being done in case of change in operating system or change in the system itself or the software. And but keeping a machine in working condition is a challenge, but maybe 8 years it's feasible. But electronics is an industry where old parts are very difficult to keep. You just cannot even buy and keep and stock what is required. But 8 years may be feasible. 10 years I don't think will be feasible. Or convert the new data to the new format and archive it, keep it on tapes or keep it in somewhere non-active media. There is some cost and time involved at the time of the conversion of data, which should be invested by the bank, and conversion audit especially should be done. Otherwise, at the time of the requirement, you will find that the data is giving you totally wrong result, leading to legal litigation, because the opposite side's party's lawyer, they are very eager to pounce upon the inaccuracy of the data, no matter how insignificant it is, or push forward the change till the very end. That is, the operating system, new operating system has come, you are aware of the various versions of Windows which are old and not being serviced. So push forward until the competitors can offer better products and service, a cheaper products and service, but you will be pushing the bank backwards, because the newer systems offer speed and a lot of features which the competition may also already offer to you, offer to the, that is your customers also, because to the general public, and you will lose a lot of banking business this way. So there's a limit to how much you can push forward the change. Maybe you cannot you decide not to be the first ones to use the new operating system and wait a little bit, but to be the last ones to convert will be not a good choice unless you are bound by certain circumstances. So friends, I hope you understand that the operating system is a limitation, and therefore you may be able to keep even 20 years data or 30 years data, but we have to ensure that it is a data which is live, in the sense that the reports can be generated immediately at your call. Maybe not at your call of snap of the fingers, but at least in half a day or 1 hour or 2 hours, to satisfy the requirement, which may be mostly legal at that time. And therefore your duty to protect our nation from the financial terrorists who have exploited the banking system and made life a lot of things miserable to us in a lot of things, a lot of ways which you may not know or realize until you are being harassed for KYC by the bank, despite being an honest tax-paying citizen, just because somebody else has not done so in the past. Thank you, friends. Please recommend this clip to others by sending them through your social media, the link, and also make sure you have subscribed to this in case you have not subscribed to it so far.